What's up, YouTube? We're going to look at vans. Very exciting subject material. A little bit of new Greenlight technology we'll share. It's quite interesting. We got Ram Promaster van and Ford Transit. We're going to look at both. Route Runner Series 1. Very interesting. Let's look at the generic one. It's supposed to be a 17 Ram. We'll see the difference between this and the 19. I like it. Very stock. Plastic base on these vehicles, but they add mirrors. So a lot of times they won't have mirrors, or they'll be molded metal mirrors. These are separate plastic mirrors. Look at the back of the packaging. Tell you the different vans in Series 1 on the map. A lot of detail on this vehicle. A lot of good detail. I like the gray. I like that we're looking at this first because the Postal van is white and it hides a lot of the detail on the casting, so it's good that we're looking at this. You can see how nicely the molding is. Tires are the tires that Greenlight had been using, but they actually molded these in really soft rubber, synthetic rubber, silicone. It feels like one of those materials. So they're round now. They're not misshapen, that hard vinyl plastic that they've been using. Look at the Promaster right here. You can see I need to punch out some holes on the rim. But look how good the tires are. I flipped them all around because they're always random. I don't know if because the tread pattern is different on either side. It's a shame because sometimes if there's white walls, they'll do one pattern or the other. Let's see how I flip it over. See what I'm talking about. I haven't touched this van. This is exactly how it came. The only thing I did was I put the axles on my vise and pushed them in. They weren't pushed in all the way, so there was a lot of gap. Now it looks a lot better. We'll look at the base in a minute. Let's back this up. I like it. This is going to be nice on the layout. I like it for pictures. Got a nice roof detail. A lot of good molding. This is not, I mean, this is pretty spot on. Funny vans, they are, they're from Italy, you know, and they're glorious Fiat Chrysler marriage that we're living through now. These came out like 09 and model year 10 as Ram vans here in North America. They came with the 3.6 liter V6 or the 3 liter diesel. It was an inline 4 diesel. 4 different wheelbases, and they also would have low and high roof. This is a high roof, kind of a middle wheelbase van. It's not the short wheelbase one, I don't think. Front wheel drive, which is funny. And it came from the Fiat Ducato, if I say that correctly. And much lighter duty. I think the maximum kind of rating on that van from over there when they kind of adapted this platform was like 3,000, 4,000 pounds or something like that. They made this go all the way up to a 1-ton version. So a lot of refiguring. They put kind of like a unitized ladder frame that they bolted and welded to this. This doesn't depict that, and when we look at the Ford van, we'll see you'll see that they kind of just use the same chassis plate. So really front-wheel drive only. I think there might have been an all-wheel drive version at some point, but you know, all the way up to 1 ton front-wheel drive. It's quite a system. 6-speed automatics, no stick shift. Stick shift in different markets, but not here. And when Ram took over the engineering, they were going to take over for the old van they used to sell. And they were getting rid of the Sprinter partnership, so they weren't going to be able to sell the Sprinter vans. So, which were Mercedes. So they had to deal with the Italians, and they had this. A Fiat. Pretty neat. But we see these now on the road all the time. This is a good line by Greenlight. You know, it's going to be real flexible. A lot of licensing can go on these vans, and customs. You can make any kind of service center or call center or you know, like plumbers and all those guys, the trades. Very, very good. Awesome stuff. You can see the grill here. Look at that. So this is a 17, and we'll see the difference when we go to the 19. Great detail though. Very, very excited about that. But they're showing rear axle, and it's really supposed to be front wheel drive, so we'll look at the Fords here in a minute. Let's go to the Postal Ram real quick too. This is nice as well. This is series 1. They picked a lot of good ones to do the first series. You can see the grill difference there. I thought that was good. Greenlight pays attention a lot of times. Painted headlights. Kind of a simple casting. There's no separate bumpers. It's all one piece of metal. They just give us the plastic base. Although there's a screw-on base. So I did take this one apart and wipe the windows down. There's some smudging on the windows, as typical from Greenlight, but at least you can open these up and wipe them down without drilling them. There's some issue with these windows, very slight, so we'll get that fixed. But you can see how the thicker paint on the white hides a lot of detail. Doesn't look as crisp. Still good tempo work though. It's all level and equal. So the separate mirrors look good. Windshield wipers too mold into the windshield, and they paint those black. I mean, they do a great job. Wheels are great. That's what the Ram wheels look like. They just kept the same base. Do give us a nice clear serial number on these. Hopefully they make a bunch of these. These are going to be fun to collect, although another line of vehicles to add to checklist, of course. Alright, let's look at the Ford, and then we'll break this up into 2 videos. We'll do the vans for this one, and then I'm going to do the rest of the Greenlight I picked up, which is kind of random stuff. But I think that this new line deserved some looking at itself. These are going to be great. Good thing that Greenlight's doing it. They're kind of breaking out now. Hopefully they go back in time and do like the Express van and the Econoline vans of the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Those would be great too. So here this is a vehicle that was already kind of around in other world markets, and around 2013, 2014, something like that, they got rid of the Econoline vans and were selling down from those, and they finally went to the World Platform van, the Transit, and they had the little bit Transit, like the Focus style Transit here as a passenger vehicle and cargo, front wheel drive, and then they got this one, real kind of a truck vehicle. This would have rear wheel drive, and they make these here 150 through 350, and they even have a dually version, kind of mimics what Mercedes can offer, diesel. They got some cool stuff. 3.76, they got a twin turbo 6, it's a 3-liter, and they got an inline 5 diesel, so that's kind of neat. This is the extended 250 chassis. They make 2 versions of the wheels. I mean, Greenlight actually is doing pretty good. This is the heavy-duty wheel, and kind of like that UPS where they leave the rim exposed there. But they also have the wheel covers that they do on these vans, and Greenlight's tooled up both. And if you want to see a preview of that, you can see how the spare tire is molded. Funny thing is, even though those are pretty much the same chassis, they did take the time to mold the tire different. Spare tire different on this, even though it's the exact same chassis band. It's so funny. But yeah, this the Ford, and UPS uses these vehicles. Great licensing agreement. They did good, and graphics are very nicely done too. Separate mirrors. These windows are down. They're not up like in the Promaster. A lot of detail in the interior. They didn't really give up there either. This is a superb model. And I was going to say about these tires, look how soft they are. This is a revelation. If they put these tires on all the other cars, I think we'd have a winner. These are all true when there's no flash on them. A couple little nubs there that I took off with the X-Acto knife, but hopefully Greenlight can do these. These are like real soft, like silicone rubber feeling, and they go on perfectly. And I just hope that, look at that. Very, very excited. Molds very smoothly. So hopefully Greenlight puts these on some other vehicles. I kind of test fit these tires on some of the other cars that have those hard tires that are at around, and it made all the world of difference. Maybe if they come out wheel and tire packs, we'll get lucky. But that's what we got to look at. We looked at the new vans. I think they're pretty neat. These are the first three of probably very many that will be in the collection. And coming up next, we'll see some new releases from Greenlight, and then we'll go on to some Auto World. Well, stay tuned. Till next time.